bona fide Toastmaster. That means her check cleared bank. Julie has been in Toastmasters since August of 2011. She supported the club recently by attending officer training in Cross Lanes. She attended in my stead as I was unable to. She's also the Vice President of Membership, a role of which I have not taken back yet. So keep doing it. She retired from the Department of Veterans Affairs in July of 2011 after working 31 years as a nurse. Way to go. She currently lives in Fraser's Bottom with her husband Norm and 2 dogs, Virgil and Monty. This is a second speech from the Competent Communicator Manual. The purpose of this speech is to give a proposal advocating an idea or course of action. The speech is to use a 6-step process outlined in the manual. 5 to 7 minutes there, Mr. Timer. The art of listening, or tell me about it. Julie Hinkle.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members and guests, negative feedback. That is what I had after our family get-together at Thanksgiving. No, the turkey wasn't dry and the casserole wasn't burnt, but my husband and one of my daughter-in-laws said that they had felt interrupted, talked over, not listened to during the family chat sessions. Was it me? I don't know. So I determined to study up on the art of listening to improve my skills. So that's what I'm going to share with you today, some tips to improve your listening skills. First off, you want to avoid distractions. If you can set the scene, you can consider noise, consider room temperature, consider people coming in and out. Practice active listening. When you are an active listener, you give encouragement to the speakers, like all of you are today. You give eye contact. You're looking people in the eye for a certain amount of time. And you're giving them a head nod, if you're just to let them know that you're listening. And then you encourage open-ended questions. You give open-ended questions so that they can respond to you wherever that conversation takes them. For instance, you might say, "He said that to you? Oh, tell me all about it." So then you're going to reflect what you hear, you're going to rephrase it so that they can tell that you're understanding what it is that they're saying. Realize while you're listening to your conversations that the speaker has an agenda, perhaps. Maybe they aren't even aware of that. They may be seeking your sympathy or your pity. They may be talking aloud through a problem that they have, to try to figure out what the answer is. Consider the subtext and the context of what they're saying. Is the speaker crying out for help? Be aware of nonverbal communication. And if you're listening like this, the speaker may think that you're not really interested or involved in what they're saying. And part of listening is observing. Humans have 43 facial muscles. And so our brains are hardwired to interpret all those facial movements. And also 50% of our brains are used to process visual information. So when the speaker, sometimes there are things the speaker will do that will turn you off. They can make a remark that you don't want to hear anything about that subject. And that's very common. And some of the things that I have problems with are cars. I'm not very interested in cars or sports. And I don't like to hear repeated information. And that's just natural for me to turn that off. Another reason or two are laziness. Some people just don't care enough about other people to listen to them. Or boredom. And boredom is natural when you think that we listen at a rate of 125 words a minute. That's what normal speaking is. The listening is 500 words a minute. So our brains can work so much faster that we have spare time there to daydream. So you may be listening to someone speak and you may be thinking, gee, I'm hungry. I'd like some Chinese food. And there's a thing called competitive or combative thinking. And I've noticed myself doing this. Someone will start talking and you'll disagree with them so much that instead of listening to what they're saying, you'll be coming up with your rebuttal to what it is. And that's not really giving them a fair shake. And it's attempting to allow a personal characteristic of the speaker to allow you to turn off that speaker. Some things that I have problems with are nose rings, facial piercings, and tattoos, and body odor. You just want to take a giant step back and then, you're going to come up with a way to get away. And when you're listening to people, it's always important to listen with empathy. And empathy is to have a deep understanding of another person's life experience. And psychology today says that our ability to empathize has decreased 40% over the last 30 years, with a sharp decline beginning in the year 2000. So if we practice all these tips, we're going to have some benefits from that. People are drawn to you if you are a good listener. They will want to spend more time with you. You will learn something new. When Kevin gave his speech on how to be a distinguished club, we all learned all those different things we had to do to become a distinguished club. You will solve problems more effectively. When you listen to all of the sides of the story, when you're a parent and you're refereeing your children, you're not going to just jump in and make a command. You're going to listen to what happened, listen to both sides. Then you'll be a bona fide listener. You will feel less loneliness and frustration if you are a good listener, because we all have so many common characteristics, and it helps you to feel like one with the universe. So after listening to my speech, I challenge each of you to practice these listening tips to improve your communication skills. I can notice some improvement in mine already just from doing the paper, and I'm looking forward to the Christmas holidays to see how I can do in a group setting. And so when my husband starts on that story that I've heard for the 100th time, will I shut my mouth and listen? I hope so. Mr. Toastmaster.
Let me know when